I actually raised my eyebrows when I saw just how cheap Genesis G80s were online. And with the average new transaction price for a new car here in December of 2022 climbing to $46,000, it's really great to see that they're starting to become more and more good deals here on the used market at least. So it's really refreshing to see that. I'm Matt Maran, and I'm going to be covering all kinds of hidden used car gems here this year, so be sure to subscribe and follow along for more of these videos. But let's get into the G80 pricing. So I'm just on Auto Trader here, nothing fancy, just basically opened it up to anywhere in the country as far as a location, just, because again, this will depend on where you live as far as, kind of deals you'll have around you. I also am looking only at vehicles with no accidents, and that's basically it. So, checking out, I have it sorted by lowest price, and here you go. $17,850 for a 2018 G80. This is the 3.8 version, which is the standard base motor. It's a V6. It does 311 horsepower, 49,000 miles, $17,850. And this is, again, no accidents. This one has multiple owners, but there's a few others down here you'll see that aren't much more that have just single owner vehicles here. But so some of the other ones, that one might be a little bit of an outlier, but as we see here, this one's, basically under 20, a little bit higher miles, but, still, under $20,000 for a car that's only, 5 or 6 years old here, and to have, something that was well over $50,000 brand new here for under 20 grand, with, again, fairly low miles, below the national average for a vehicle of this year. But you can see that's basically the trend here. We got another one, 21 and a half. These are great. This is a one owner vehicle here, 21.7. These are all fantastic bargains. Obviously there's some sponsored stuff here, but as far as these go, 22, 44,000 miles. These are all, 2017s, 2018s, these all have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto integration, all kinds of features. Obviously they have, different amounts of equipment on them depending on the car, but most of these came with, heated seats, heated steering wheel, cooled seats if you got the premium package. They still have a touchscreen, nice and easy to control, nothing weird on the interior. But you can see here, it's not just one or two. There's tons of these things for anywhere between $20,000 to $24,000 in really nice shape. Any color you want here, they're all on here. And so it's pretty mind-blowing. And so even, we have 979 results, by the way, too. Obviously, this is all of them, not just the cheap ones. But there's plenty of G80s to pick from on the used market. And even if you're someone who, for example, must have all-wheel drive, let's go and change this to the drive type and find some all-wheel drive ones here for those of us who deal with winter weather, and see what the cheapest ones are here with that. So even still, 21 and a half with all-wheel drive for this one, basically 23 with all-wheel drive. Again, and these are average mileages for vehicles of this age, and like I said, still 24 grand all day long for these. And there's also the sport version. We can see about those and see if we can get one of those for a little bit of a cheaper or more expensive price here, but because I actually reviewed the sport trim a while back and they were fantastic, and we'll go and uncheck the drive type here. I believe those were all-wheel drive, but just so we don't get anything excluded. Even those 27 grand, not bad. That's basically the same price as what you're going to pay for a G70, which is the smaller baby Genesis. Those started in 2019, so 1 year newer than these 2018s, but still same price basically, and you have way more space. Yes, they don't handle as sharp as the G70, but tons of space, tons of luxury, super comfortable. I love the G80s, and I think they look really nice too. And so, really solid values, again, even if you want the sporty fast ones here. But, again, if you go for those cheap ones, just insane. You can get one of these things for, under $20,000. And if you're even open, this same generation of car, they rebranded it. It was previously the Hyundai Genesis. So I pulled up Hyundai Genesis and just searched those. Again, same criteria, 2015 and newer is when this generation started. And just pulling up, this is rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive ones. But these are even cheaper, 17 grand, and this one's only 42,500 miles. This is a one owner Carfax vehicle, clean Carfax on all these ones. Again, said no accidents here. $17,000, and it's again same basic car. This one says it's a hot car, so maybe this one won't sit around much longer, but looks to be in pretty good shape here at first glance. This one even has the all-wheel drive, which wasn't an upcharge. $17,000. It's pretty wild just how cheap these things are. And if you're okay with, this older Hyundai Genesis, these ones were also offered with the V8. So you can get these with a V8 engine. Let's see just for kicks how much those are going for. But I mean, 17 grand is still, just crazy cheap. But I mean, it looks like, okay, we got some here again. Carfax one owner, 20 grand with a 5-liter V8 engine in this, massive luxury vehicle that handled really well. And I actually reviewed a 2015 Hyundai Genesis 5.0. My buddy actually bought one back then, and I thought it was an amazing vehicle. I thought it drove really well. It handled better than you would expect, honestly. Much better handling than you would expect. And so, it's just a really impressive car. And he actually still even has his. Obviously, it's anecdotal. There could be some horror stories with these. There could be lots of good luck stories with these as well. But my buddy's, I think he's almost at 90,000 miles and hasn't had any big issues with it. So it seems like they're pretty solid as well, at least for the V8 ones, from my own personal experience with my buddies. But look at these. Again, even V8 ones, 21 and a half, all day long. Again, pretty low miles for a 2015, 64,000 here. It's pretty nuts just how cheap these things are. Again, with clean Carfaxes, some of them one-owner cars, and you get them for just so little money compared to what they were new, and just for the kind of value it is, the kind of vehicle it is. It's really, really impressive. But yeah, so anyway, if you're out there shopping for a solid used value, you don't even have to be shopping for a big, beautiful, luxurious sedan there. But, if that's something that you're open to, I think it's one of the best deals that I've seen out there, especially, again, in its segment, but just even in general. And, with the Genesis 2, if you get a certified used one, you even have the long warranty, the 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty that still applies to these. You'll generally, I think, have less issues than you would with some of the German competitors, which, have some pretty expensive dealer visits usually with those things. I'm really, really impressed with that value. And I also have to give a huge thank you here to commenter Uncle Phantom, who actually tipped me off to these G80 prices. I had no clue they were this cheap. And actually, he commented on my Q50, Infiniti Q50 review that I just posted a couple of days ago, where I thought that was one of the best, performance sports sedans, luxury sedans out there. And it still is one of the best. But as he pointed out, he was shopping between the Q50 and the G80 and went for a G80 because clearly this is a better deal. And I agree. It's, a little bigger than the Q50. But if you don't mind that, hands down, I'd rather have one of these for less money than a Q50 and have a much nicer vehicle. And again, if you go for the Genesis ones, 2017 and up, you have the smartphone integration, you have better infotainment than the Infiniti. It's just, it blew my mind. Like I said, my jaw actually was almost dropping just seeing how cheap these things are. They're also pretty safe vehicles, just lots of perks with the Genesis in general for the G80s. And so the fact they're so cheap is just, the cherry on top, and just really makes these cars, in my opinion, these days. So anyway, hopefully you got some value out of this. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to also leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you can follow along as I do more and more of these videos. And if you do happen to know of any other hidden gems out there in the used car market, be sure to leave a comment below. I'd love to check them out and do future videos on those other vehicles as well. But yeah, thank you all very much once again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.